In this video, we're going to add and subtract mixed numbers in word problems. So for our first one, remember that anytime you're dealing with a word problem, you want to read the word problem all the way through and know what it's asking for first. So a rectangle has a length of 46 3/4 centimeters and a width of 44 2/7 centimeters. What is the perimeter, or the distance around the edges of the rectangle, in centimeters? Express your answer in a mixed number form. So I want to know, what is the perimeter? Just think that this is a rectangle, so if we kind of pencil, whoops, it helps if I can draw a straight line. That's a straight line. Perpendicular lines for a rectangle. Okay, pretend these are straight lines. That's a rectangle. So it says that my length is 46 3/4, and my width is 44 2/7. All right, but that's not all the way around, that's just two sides. So this length is 46 3/4, and this width is 44 2/7. Now, in a rectangle, opposite sides are equal. So that's how I know that the width on each end is 44 2/7, and how the length on each side is 46 3/4. And these are all centimeters. So I'm not that particular. I'm more worried about the process. All right, so there's two ways we can do this. We can write them out and add them all together, which that may be easier if I take 46 3/4 plus 44 2/7 plus 46 3/4 plus 44 2/7, because this gives us the distance around. Start with one side, go all the way around, and that's what the perimeter is. But notice that this sum and this sum is going to be the same. So I'm going to concentrate on getting this first set of numbers together, this first set of the first sum. And I'm going to do it the same way I was doing the adding of mixed numbers earlier. I'm going to add my whole numbers, 46 and 44, and I'm going to get 90. And then I'm going to add 3/4 and 2/7. So remember, I have to have a common denominator. I'm just going to multiply them together. I'm going to do 4 times 7. So then I'm going to do 7 times 4 over here. So I can multiply my 3 by 7 and my 2 by 4. So 3 times 7 is 21. 4 times 7 is 28. 2 times 4 is 8. 7 times 4 is 28. So that gives me 29 28ths, which is the same thing in what is 1 and 1 over 28. So if I add my whole number and my mixed number, I get 90 plus 1 and 1/28. I'm going to have 91 and 1/28. So that's for the length and a width. So since the 46 3/4 plus the 44 2/7 is the same, then this is also going to be 91 and 1/28. So now all I have to do is add those two together. So I can take 91 and add 91, and I get 182, and take 1/28 and add 1/28. I get 2 over 28, which reduces by 2. So I get 1/14. So my perimeter is 182 and 1/14 centimeters. Now there's more than one way of doing this. You have to add all the fractions together all the way around. I could have added any different number of different ways. I could have added the lengths together, I could have added the widths together, and then added those two answers together. However, as long as we're both getting the 182 and the 1/14 centimeters. Just remember, there's multiple ways of doing this. All right, the next problem that we're going to look at is a triangle. A triangle has sides, and if you remember what a triangle looks like, and I'm not reading this all the way through, but I'll go back. A triangle has three sides. It has one side that's 18 1/3 feet, one side that's 25 2/9 feet, one side that's 19 3/4 feet. Again, my triangle's not drawn to scale. It looks like equal angular or equilateral triangle where all three angles and all three sides are equal. It's just an idea to show you what it might look like. So let's finish it. What is the perimeter or the distance around the edges of the triangle in feet? And again, express your answer as a mixed number. So once again, I want to add all three mixed numbers. So 18 1/3 plus 25 2/9 plus 19 3/4. So we can do, again, you can do this any number of ways. You can add the first two fractions, get an answer, and then add the third fraction. Personally, I'm just going to add all three. First off, I'm going to add my whole numbers, the 18, the 25, and the 19. So when I add 18, 25, and 19, I get 62. And now I'll add my fractions, 1/3 plus 2/9 plus 3/4. And again, I've got to find a common denominator. Now, 3 goes into 9. So if I take and multiply 9 times 4, 3 is going to go into it. If I do 9 times 4, I get 36. So I'm going to multiply 4 times 9, 9 times 4, and my denominator is 36. I'll put this down here. Sometimes this keeps me on track when I'm doing 3. So I know 3 goes into 36 12 times, so I'm going to multiply 3 by 12. So that means I have to multiply the 1 by 12. If I multiplied 9 by 4, I'm going to multiply the 2 by 4. So it gives me 8. If I multiply 4 times 9, I can multiply the 3 times 9. And that gives me 27. And then I'm going to add them together. So 12 and 8 is 20, plus 27 gives me 47 over 36. I've got to make this one a mixed number. So I'm going to take the top number, divide it by the bottom number. 36 goes into 47 one time, and I have 11 left over. So that's 1 and 11 over 36. Now I'm going to add my whole number and my fraction, or my mixed number fraction part, 1 and 11/36. So when I add those together, 62 and 1 is 63, and 11 over 36. And it's in feet, so my perimeter is in feet. So far, so good, I hope. All right, let's look at our last word problem for the day, or for the video. We have Joquin, that's how we say her name, takes 4 2/9 hours to shop for clothes. Sherry takes 2 1/3 hours. Calculate the time difference in hours. So I want the time difference in hours. And write your answer in mixed number form. So the difference is to find the difference, I'm going to take Joquin's 4 2/9, and I'm going to subtract 2 1/3. So again, I'm going to do my fractions first because this is a division. So I'm going to look at 2/9 minus 1/3. I got to have a common denominator. So 3 and 9, I'm going to go with 3. You can multiply them together and get 27, but I know that 3 times 3 gives me 9. So if I multiply bottom by 3, I got to multiply the top by 3. So I'm going to have 2/9 minus 3/9. Okay, so my first fraction is less than my second fraction, which means that I have to borrow 1 from my 4. because 4 is what goes with 2 ninths. So if I borrow 1 from this 4, that's 3. That means that I have 1 that I'm going to rewrite as a fraction with a denominator of 9, which would give me 9 over 9. So then I'm going to take the 9 over 9. I'm going to add my 2 ninths, because that's what I borrowed it for. So 9 and 2 is 11 over 9. So now I can take the 2 ninths and write it as 11 over 9 because I had to borrow 1, minus my 3 ninths. So 11 minus 3 is 8. So I have 8 ninths as my fraction. And then I want to subtract my whole numbers. So I'm taking the 3 because I borrowed 1, minus my 2. 3 minus 2 gives me 1. And I'm going to write my whole number and my fraction together, and I get 1 and 8 ninths hours is my time difference. I hope these videos help. That was the last of this one.